Matt and the dogs.
Yeah.
That's the shot. You want them in it too, or just the dogs?
No, the dogs, everybody.
I'm in heaven right now.
This is part of the deal when you do the podcast at the house is the dogs will be your best friends. Yeah. They don't give you a choice. They're like, no, we're doing this, man.
No, love it. We got two loyal fans right here already. Your biggest fans, probably.
Oh.
Only fans.
I think they like me. You're my OnlyFans? What? Yeah. OnlyFans. Oh, my goodness.
Something like that.
The dogs have OnlyFans accounts?
No, your OnlyFans.
Oh, my OnlyFans.
The dog has a lot of fans.
The dogs do have a lot more fans than me. I've posted pictures and people are like, I want those dogs. I will be coming over and those dogs will be on my lap. So, are you guys a fan of the show The Great that's on Hulu? It's about Catherine the Great. You watch that?
I need to catch up. I watched the first season a long time ago.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. So good. And what reminded me of it is because I was watching it yesterday.
Yeah.
And Haley's Comet was part of the deal. Yeah. And I was like, it's a sign. Yes. Which is actually a sign in the episode of The Great too. She uses it to her advantage. So spoiler for anyone who's out there watching.
I've seen the first episode.
You saw the first episode.
That's all I've gotten through.
Okay, well you're not caught up even close.
Spoiler for history.
I got to get through Monk first.
Yeah, Monk. Well, the show. So the Comet reminded me. I was like, I can't believe that we're going to have you guys on tomorrow to talk about this, and here you are today.
Yeah.
So we are here to talk about. What is this name of the show exactly?
The name is Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 1812.
Oh.
So it's about Boris Badenow's wife, the guy that invented ice cream, French ice cream, Pierre, and some sort of... What's Natasha?
Natasha and Boris are... So it's
not about any of that.
No.
Okay.
Natasha
you
and
nailed
Boris
it. That's exactly...
So close.
Those are the bad guys.
How did you know?
And Tchaikovsky's Comet Symphony, 1812.
Perfect.
Is that what it is?
No, that is
Natasha and Boris are the bad guys.
We'll work it into
what
the
is that show? That cartoon with the moose.
We'll sell ice cream in the lobby or something.
What is the cartoon with Boris that has
Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Yes, thank you. So they got the bad guy's name from that stuff?
Yep. This is actually just Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Is that what it is?
The musical.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I'm sorry.
It's an underrated story that Rocky was a big Tolstoy fan.
Oh, okay.
So that's,
Okay.
That's the book.
Which is what Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 1812 is based off of 70 pages from War and Peace.
Oh, it's only 70 pages. Obviously, you couldn't do the whole book, could you?
Yeah, no, that would be like a 12-day show.
It's only a 70. Okay, yeah. So, okay, so what is this show? So first of all, we have Jeremy. You are what at the Owens Community Theater? We should probably say this. Where it's at and what's going on.
I'm chair of Fine and Performing Arts at Owens Community College.
Okay.
So theater is one of our programs, along with animation, broadcast media, fine art, photography, animation, and music.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. And graphic design as well. Yeah.
I feel kind of jerky because I'm just now remembering that somebody reached out to me about animation and I didn't respond back. I responded and I forgot to follow up. I'm a terrible person. So I should probably remember when I get back to work tomorrow.
Sure, we can connect on that, yeah.
Yeah. And then, Matt, what are you doing at this? Why are you here? What's going on with this? What's your connection? What's your connection to the comment?
Yeah, why are you here?
Well, this guy is...
Why are any of us here?
Yeah, deep.
No, I was connected... to this project from Jeremy and Julie Bermudez.
I know her.
Yes. So I was asked to direct the Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet.
Oh, you're the director.
Yes.
Man, that was a long time to get you're the director out.
Yeah. You were
like, why am I here? I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
I'm just
here
for
moral
support.
The title of the show.
Yeah, you were the one who got a hold of me about this. And was like, would you be interested? Because it is the world premiere or something like that, right?
Yes. Not the world premiere. It is the Northwest Ohio premiere.
Northwest Ohio
and
premiere.
We're extremely, excited doesn't even cover it of what this show is. It's such a revolutionary piece of theater for our time right now. It's like if you took Les Mis, the epicness of it, and then you took the style of Hamilton and mashed them together. So there's a lot of rock, EDM, classic Russian folk music.
EDM?
Yes.
electric dance music. What is that?
Yes.
Is that what that stands
got
for?
it.
Is
Yeah.
it seriously what it stands for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it in one.
All right.
Look at you. See?
I'm
You're
OLD,
doing great.
so I wasn't sure if that
He's
was.
done for the night on those. Though.
I was like ED.
That's your contribution to Jeopardy.
Yeah. No, all I know is it's like Sandstorm.
No, and that's exactly kind of what you, not directly Sandstorm, but like club music.
That's what I hear when I hear EDM. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna have shrooms and dance around and go crazy.
Yes.
So how are we doing all these different kinds of music?
So the composer Dave Malloy is this musical prodigy, and he was given an artist residency and they're like, "What do you want to make?" And he was like, "Well, I want to make War and Peace, but with crazy different styles of music."
With rave music.
Yeah. So we literally start with like accordion, and then by the end of the show, we have.
I didn't bring up
there's
accordion first.
Yeah.
That's the first time we've had a podcast where I didn't bring up an accordion first.
Really?
Thank you so much, Matt. You're not my favorite.
I hope you know I'm truly honored, but you should be. Yes.
Nice.
But we just kind of go in and out of all this different music, and that's the brilliance of this show, is that the music never feels like very forced or out of the loop or anything like that. It just fits for the scene every single time.
Okay. All right. Now I've heard like nothing about this show other than like from the young, hip, cool theater kids that this is like, oh my God, this show. Like a lot of the young, cool, hip theater kids want to do this show.
Yes.
And that's all I know.
Yeah.
That's like literally all I know.
So this story is, I mean, it's very cool because it's a story that involves like all different types of characters I don't think we typically see in musical theater. Like no one in the show is a good person. They're all tragically flawed in some way. And while the show has elements of comedy and things like that, it truly is this tragedy at the end. And not in a way that, you know, like Les Mis is a tragedy where everyone dies, or you know,
and you can root for at least somebody.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
he's clearly trying to be a good guy.
It's almost like Game of Thrones, where you're like, I'm not sure who I'm supposed to root for. Like, I like this person, but they are objectively the villain in the story.
You've got several characters with a Cersei-sized existential crisis happening.
with
Yes.
a what?
Cersei Lannister existential crisis. If you're
That's
familiar
too
with Game
big
of
of a
Thrones.
word. Oh, thank you. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a brilliant reference, actually.
Okay, so Game of Thrones is a character named Cersei.
She's
Yes.
the worst. She's the
She's
worst
the
of
worst.
them. Yeah.
Okay.
But you also are like, wow, you just maneuvered the heck out of everyone in this
Nothing
game.
wrong with that.
So even though you're the worst, I respect you like no other.
Yeah, that's again back to my Catherine the Great. You know, if the
Yeah.
crown fits, take it.
And
is a
that's
tagline.
Yeah.
Does she have a death list, kind of like Cersei does?
No, so this story is more about centered on Natasha and how Natasha and Pierre's lives intersect. So
Okay.
Natasha is a 16-year-old Russian girl who is promised to be married to Andre. And at the very beginning of the show, Andre goes off to fight in the war against Napoleon. So Andre leaves and Natasha is left in Moscow, which is like the height of society at the time. And because she's 16, young and beautiful and very desirable, there is a young man that pursues her, but she's already engaged to be married.
Gotcha.
And while like that may sound very like soap opera-y, the way the show constructs it is almost like this, like Hitchcockian, like, oh no, like what is going to happen? Like she is making this terrible decision with this person we know is terrible, but like how is this going to unravel? And through the process, there's this literal explosion of these people's lives. And what does that mean societal for Natasha? Is she even going to be allowed to be married or let into society? And her, you know, the love interest she has, I'm forgetting.
So this is this like a period piece? I
Yeah.
should say 1812.
Yeah,
you know. I wasn't sure.
No, but it's very relatable because you look at the 16-year-old girl, Natasha. She's guilty of doing something a lot of people do, and that's projecting what she wants the world to be onto people that aren't those things.
Especially when you're 16.
Sure. Yeah.
What do you know, Ariel? You shouldn't go up and see that sailor. What do you know, right?
Right.
Well, it's almost as if Ariel, like the real version of Ariel, you know, like not the Disney fantasy version. Like girl goes after a guy, and then you kind of find out, like, oh no, like all your parents were warning you, don't go after this guy, and
For a good reason.
yeah,
He's married.
yeah. So which they tell you right away, but
So
He's married. And,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
this is just a piece of War and Peace.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to say it that way, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I keep thinking of Star Trek, the 9 books, and the third book is where they start, or the fourth book is where they
Sure.
started. Is there potential of
Star Wars.
Star Wars? Sorry.
Oh my
What'd I
gosh.
say?
You said Star Trek.
I was with you.
I mean,
I
you
followed
screwed
you.
up
Sorry,
twice.
Star Wars.
Wow.
You said Star Trek, not even Star Trek, but you know.
Whatever. Star Wars.
No,
I've
this is
never
a-
misspoken in my life.
Is there
so-
others? I mean, I can't say I've read War
Yeah,
and Peace.
it's a nice and tidy 70-page tract of
Yeah.
the book. It's self-contained. Would you say?
Yeah. It's there's. I mean, they probably could do like an extension if they wanted to, but the story is so complete, and there's not too many like side plots or anything. It's a very straightforward, easy to follow story. But then because the story is so simple, you are able to emit so much glam and glitz and spectacle.
So
through
they said the
show.
story is real simple. Let's make the title of it really long and hard to remember.
Exactly. Well, you have the Russian aristocrats who are the richest people in the world right now, and they are drinking like it's the end of the world because Napoleon is about to march on their city and destroy it. So
Oh.
there is this level of richness that only comes when, the poor are suffering so much
Yeah.
and the rich are just like living it up
Decadence.
like nobody's
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And that's what we kind of are excited about with this show is that our characters are going to be very lavish, but then also you'll get to see in the inside of their souls and see this wretchedness and this awfulness at the same time.
It's highly immersive too, in terms of the way it engages the audience.
Yeah,
Really?
Yes, when it was on Broadway, there was no stage. Like it was just done in the circle, basically.
Oh.
And while we are not going to be doing that at Owens because that would take literally $1 million, that was one of the things that was very important to me with this production is that it is fully immersive. That there will be actors going through the aisles and interacting with you, and they will be
A
drinking
lot of
their
eye contact
vodka.
with the guests.
Oh yeah,
All the-
and
all the
passing
people.
out
It's an
love
event.
letters.
Yeah.
Oh,
and-
really?
Yeah, and audience members will be danced with by cast members and things
What?
like that, and and I'm again getting all my wishes and everything, but like pierogies will be passed out and things like that.
pierogies!
But
During the accordion playing, obviously.
or chocolate coins and things like that. But so there will be lots of interactive elements with the audience. It will not just be a show. It, as Jeremy said so elegantly, it will be an event.
An event.
I'm
an
intrigued because
experience.
Owens, the theater, the Center of Performing Arts, is just a beautiful little
Yeah.
place that's
Oh, absolutely.
lends to this perfectly.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds like.
Don't call it little either. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's not
decent.
that
How many
size.
sizes?
But it's very
is it?
intimate too. Still,
eight-
It
800
is.
seats,
It's
maybe?
526.
Oh, it looks
but
bigger
it
than
is, the way it's laid out, the furthest row back, you're not far from the stage.
Yeah.
And that proscenium march is open enough to where we can bend that boundary between where the audience is and the performance extends.
No, you're
Yeah.
right about that. So I was in like the second or maybe the last row to see Les Mis, and it was still beautiful. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
right there. It's not that far back. I love the way that a lot of the theaters in this area were designed in a way that there weren't a lot of like, oh, we're so far away we can't enjoy this.
Yeah.
This show at all. We even though we're the second to the last row, I was like, this isn't bad. I can still see everything just fine.
And that's almost why Owens is a perfect show for this show is because the goal is to blur the line between the cast members and the audience as much as possible so that even though you're all the way in the back, someone's going to come all the way back and, ask you how you're doing and, take a slug of water with you or something
Really?
like that.
Right, and in the little backety back after us.
Oh, yeah,
I love it.
absolutely.
so Matt's directing. We got students playing.
Well, we're going to have students, community members soon. Auditions are coming up in a couple of weeks.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
open to everybody.
Yeah,
It's open, and
everyone can audition.
That's
So
where
this could literally be nobody from Owens in the show.
I think
Absolutely.
we'll have some representation. And in terms of the department, we've got such a diverse background of students. I mean, we have students who are animators, students who are graphic designers, musicians, and the auditions I've run at the college in the past, we get people from a bunch of different majors who audition for these photography
So
students.
it's a possibility, but unlikely that there isn't somebody who's great enough to be in the show. But it could, like, all of a sudden, the best of the best in the whole area all come and be in the show.
Absolutely.
They could actually squeeze everybody out from Owens.
the auditions, we always do them open to the community. Absolutely.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah.
That's
And-
amazing. Has that always been the case?
It
like
is.
for
Yeah,
like
it's the way
decades?
it's the way we've done them. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and I'm just now finding
Yeah.
out this after my children are no longer in the area.
Yeah.
And the one thing I really want to get across with your listeners for auditions is that this show is not the standard typical Broadway sound where Natasha is a soprano but not singing like Julie Andrews style.
Gotcha.
Where typically sopranos, they're not around in contemporary musical theater.
Right, she's Fontaine, and
Exactly.
that's like it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a lot of alphabet
Mezzos in
belting.
there, yeah.
Yes, but also we have a lot of baritone roles in this show.
Really?
There's a lot of gruff, rough sounding, like almost piratey characters. So this show really demands a lot vocally, and so we encourage anyone who's just like, I am a singer.
Isn't there
come on
also
out.
like a really high tenor part too?
There is a really high tenor part, but it's not. The listeners will understand this. It's not a Jack Kelly Newsies type of.
No, that's not that high.
Loud
I can
tenor.
sing that.
But it's like it's like Orpheus from Hadestown. It's light and floaty.
That's
so it's
high.
not. It is high, but it's definitely very doable and definitely very
Beautiful.
different for something in this.
It's a very
area.
pretty sound.
Yeah.
Orpheus'
absolutely.
sound in Hadestown is very pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're going to have all these different kinds of music, are you having just a band, or how are we doing that?
So this is one of the things that I mean, I'll speak for myself, but we're going to actually, normally Owens has like an orchestra pit right in front. We're not having the orchestra pit, and we're building out the stage so that there are stairs where audience or the cast will dance and interact right in front with the audience, but we will put the orchestra on the back on this platform that will become this Russian bar, basically.
Nice.
So kind of part of the show, part of the set.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
And ideally, coming in, you'll hear them kind of just playing like in the background. Like if you entered any bar, just kind of like bar music going on in the background.
Wait, when guests come in, they might actually be playing already?
Oh, yeah.
Just like
That's
once.
the hope. Yeah, yes, very much
Like
so.
once they have the Irish band and they're in the Irish bar and they're just playing.
I have to say I did slightly steal that idea.
Did you? No, that's
Yeah.
fine. You should be serving vodka up there too. Though.
Maybe shots
be
of
in the front
water.
row.
or
Shots
if
of
anything.
water. Come on.
But
It's a
yeah.
college.
No, but yeah, all legal age. It's fine. It's fine. That's what they do for once, though. Is they actually have the band up there and they have drinks and they do stuff before the. When I went and saw once, I didn't know the show was starting. That's how integrated it was into the atmosphere when you walked in. It was the band was up there. They were playing. Audience members were allowed to go up on the stage, interact with people, and then the show started. Yeah. I was
There
like,
it is.
wait, what? The show's starting? What's happening here? And like, it caught me off guard that it was actually starting because I didn't. That was a cool aspect of it.
So I'm still stuck in this band thing. These band members have to know all sorts of different kinds of music.
Oh, yeah.
Is what you're telling us.
Yeah, and also something we're exploring is that we would love for actor musicians to be in the show.
Nice.
Again, our perfect dream come true is that some of our chorus members or even just cast members will play instruments during the show. Not maybe for a full song or anything, but that while you are way in the back, all of a sudden you will notice that this clarinet is being played beside you, which was the true intention of the show, is that instead of having just, a traditional orchestra up front, that all of a sudden you would hear this cello beside you and this one beautiful piece. And then you would have another actor be playing the accordion all the way across the way while doing like kick flips or something like that.
He keeps looking at me. I own an accordion. Am I supposed to be trying out for this?
We're building the orchestra as well.
Let's
as
go.
casting.
I could loan you the accordion as best probably too.
I mean, I don't know. There could be a spot for an accordion solo in the show. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Reach out to Weird Al, man. See, he's not gonna say yes unless you ask him.
That's
So
true.
I was gonna say, like, what are the instruments that you would be looking for?
I can't speak specifically on that. That's-
Jeremy.
Yes.
Well, we also have a very talented
Yes.
music director named Charlie Liggis.
Okay.
We just got our songbooks last week, so Charlie is pilfering through them, identifying the various pieces. And in addition to casting the show in just a few weeks, we will also be putting
make
together
sure
an
when you
orchestra.
post and you do all this stuff and share with us, please, so we can make sure, like, hey, these are not required, but if you can play the clarinet, like you said, which is an odd instrument to pick, I thought, a clarinet of all the instruments.
Depends on what the music.
I think because you can move it around. Like you don't have to sit and do it. Or maybe it's the oboe. It's some woodwind
oboe's
instrument.
tough to
That
move
was a
around
bigger
with.
one. Well, I was just curious, like, a lot of the, I think, musical theater people play piano or guitar. Those are like the main two. And if they can play like something else, I don't know. They seem to lean towards those two instruments.
But that's one of the exciting things about this show is that there's such room for innovation, so that, you know, maybe at some point the guy who's playing Pierre, if he knows how to play the piano or something else, maybe during his song we can just throw that in there.
He just
and show
wanders over and starts playing the piano.
Why not?
Oh my gosh, that guy's gonna be super sexy.
Oh, yeah. Just
All of a sudden he's
get all the
playing
phone
piano.
numbers.
Yeah, ooh.
There's a lot of meta to the show. The characters
There's
are not
that term again,
unaware.
meta, you know.
Yeah, they're not unaware that this is a performance. The whole first number of the show is commenting on the fact there's so many characters to keep track of in Russian literature.
Oh, is there?
And we're gonna dumb it down. Here's
Thank
exactly who everyone is. That's
yeah.
the whole
I
first number.
appreciate that dumbing down.
Yeah, it's not you will absolutely know all of the characters. Like, okay, by the first number, I know this person is this person, this person is this person. Great.
And an
Okay.
identifiable trait about each of them within just that first number. Oh, that's
Okay.
that guy who writes.
Yeah.
So you say the music is different, but somehow is beautifully blended together. Is that what you said?
Yes. So
Okay.
this is more like I would compare it to like an opera where the music never stops. Like there is one small moment of only dialogue, but it is sung through all the way in almost the way that like Les Mis or
So I'd
Phantom
say
of
Les
the Opera
Mis.
is.
Yeah. Les Mis. Phantom is probably more like Phantom then, since you said
Actually,
there's
yeah.
more talking. One part you said.
Yeah, just one small section.
So it really is like Les Mis meets Phantom. In a way.
Yeah,
Because Les Mis has no talking, does it?
I think maybe one or two, but yeah, the same amount pretty much. So,
Okay.
but if you are a singer, especially if a singer who has an untraditional style of voice, this show is definitely for you. When they conceived it, they were like, we don't want the typical Broadway sound. We want people who have rock star voices, people who, you know, have really low voices. Especially, there's a lot of women roles that are very low and don't, you know, there's no big high note for them. It's just a low, warm tone.
This is the alto's dream show.
Yeah, it could be.
Be.
There is a beautiful song called Sonia Alone, which is one of the songs that all the musical theater kids are like, this song is so good. And it's a wonderful song, but it's a
Okay,
great
altos,
opportunity.
get your butts out here. You've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
waiting for your shining comet. This is it.
Yeah.
How big is the cast?
The cast size we're shooting for is 20 to 30, ideally. There's 10 main roles that are named and have solos and such. And then we're looking for a chorus of anywhere of like 10 to I'm going to shoot for 20 people. You know, you always work with what you got,
Right.
and what we're available to do on stage.
Hey,
and in
man, you're the
space.
director. If all this talent pours out, you might add more, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the cool part about this show is that we don't have to worry about fitting 30 people on a stage. We can fit 30 people through the confines of the theater.
Right.
Well, and that theater's not small, so you could fit 30 people
Oh,
on the stage.
absolutely.
That's not
Yeah.
going to be a problem.
30 people on stage, and then, you know, theoretically you have 10 people throughout the audience aisles and
That's
things like
true.
that. But it's
Owens has a nice, big, beautiful stage, and it's
yeah.
deep, so you could put a
Yeah.
decent amount on there and really feel the volume of sound waves smacking the people in the audience.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm hoping
so
for.
Kyle,
I've
you-
never seen this show. I want to see it.
You can wear your Russian outfit and sneak up onto the stage probably, and they wouldn't even know in the audience. I don't think you're just part of the
Because
cast.
my beard, I blend right
beard,
in.
right.
Well,
There's
we
that.
have a perfect part for the then.
Plus, I smell like
Balaga.
vodka all the time, so I'm drinking vodka right now. Actually, that's so crazy.
Well, but yeah, we're very excited. to
What's your
bring this.
perfect part for me?
Your
I'm sorry?
perfect part, Balaga. His introduction in the beginning of the show is Balaga's just for fun. He's the character that he doesn't have a song until Act 2. He comes out once and he steals the whole show.
Does he have any lines?
He's
or
a
anything?
crazy troika driver.
Really?
Yes.
A troika
Oh, yeah.
driver?
Yeah.
I only know the troika from Cedar Point is a ride. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't even
Yeah.
know what a troika is. But I smell a vodka right now, so that's great.
Yeah,
I didn't even
see?
know this
It's
was
perfect.
Russian.
Yeah.
So this is just my gig. So
Yeah. The show is seeping with Russian attitude and Russian flair. That whole, like, your emotions are so close to the surface that 1 minute they're loving you and then the next second they're holding a knife to your throat type of
awesome.
attitude.
I knew none of this, and I'm bringing up Catherine the Great, the greatest, one of the
Yeah.
best, greatest leaders of the Russian Empire ever. It's like I know stuff, but I don't. I love it.
Well, you believe you know stuff.
My brain is exploding with all these connections. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a genius. I didn't know anything about this show. I'm drinking vodka and talking about Catherine the Great. It's just like, the Comet of 1812.
Yeah.
How did you guys get this? I mean, this is the Northwest Ohio.
Yeah, how did you manage
How
to
did
get
you
this?
pull this off?
This is a show that's been in high demand in Northwest Ohio, to say the least, for a while, because the rights have not been available. And they just released the collegiate rights just recently. So, yeah, we're excited.
So you swooped in before any of the other colleges were able to get it.
And, a big nod to Julie Bermudez and Perrysburg Musical Theater. I said, hey, what are the shows people are looking at right now? Where's the interest? What do people really want to do?
Yeah.
And she said,
Julie is always in the background acting like she isn't involved and doesn't want to be on the show. She's
amazing.
But she's like a machine.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, so I would love to have her on. She acts like she doesn't want to be on, but I think she does.
You guys got to have her on.
But she's
Secret
so
Garden.
involved with being able to get these things. She does a wonderful job over in Perrysburg getting the PMT, these shows like, New Brain and what was this Steve Martin one? What was that one called?
Bright Star.
Bright Star. It's like, nah,
which
she's
made
no
me
slacker.
think about your show with the band on the stage.
Yeah, that was another one. You're right.
Kind of like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. About going to that.
Dancings are big, like Russian dancing or anything like that? Ballet?
It'll be a big dancing show, but if you are not a dancer, don't be intimidated.
Okay.
We've
What if
talked
you are
over-
just a dancer and that's what you love doing the most?
Then this is a great show for
Yeah.
you.
All right. You can't sing a note?
Yeah, we have a great opportunity for you to show off your dance moves.
Awesome. Because there's a great dance community here too, but sometimes they get intimidated on auditioning because they're like, ugh.
Yeah,
there are a couple opportunities there. I'm sorry,
No,
Matt's
interrupt
looking to-
everybody. I'm terrible at it.
Matt's looking to cast like a Russian society, and so
Yeah.
some of those people, members of the society, will be singers, and others will be dancers, others will be madmen running through the theater. And so another great thing about it is we're holding an audition workshop the week before auditions.
Oh, that's great.
And that's where you got this case where, hey, I think I'd like to audition. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know enough about the show. Maybe I don't know how auditions work at Owens. Maybe I don't, feel that confident. Maybe I'm going to get cold feet the day of the audition. It's free. It's a week before the audition.
When is it? What are the dates?
It's Tuesday, the 6th of February, right at Owens.
Okay.
Matthew's going to be there talking about the show, talking about what auditions are going to be like. It's not required if you want to audition. If you're ready to go and audition, great. Come out and see us on the 12th.
That's great. That means
or the
this is going to
13th,
air
but-
before that then. So that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to hear.
So on the 6th, you can just come out to Owens, 6 p.m., Center for Fine and Performing Arts. It's a free workshop. Get to know a little bit about the show.
Okay.
And, get some of those jitters
and
out.
you're going to be there, Matthew?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so from a personal standpoint, this is the third time Matthew's been on our podcast. So
Big fan.
in the 3 times he's been on, and then we've also gone out to Notre Dame and filmed some stuff. He is a perfectly approachable guy. Okay, he's not going to scare you. He's not going to be terrible, intimidating. He doesn't, from what I can tell, rule with an iron fist. When you were on the first time, you expressed specifically that your goal is for the high school kids, because that's what you were directing,
Yeah.
was to make sure that they always have a positive, fun experience and want to continue to do theater.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anybody listening who wants to do this, and Matthew's going to be there. Don't worry, he's not going to scare you away. I think he's probably going to encourage the
And I'll
crap
tell you
out of
something else from having a directing background myself. Not much in musical theater, but what a lot of auditioning actors don't realize is that the person casting the show wants you to do really well.
Always.
A lot of
They don't
actors
want-
walk
they
into
don't
the
wanna-
audition,
yeah.
they think it's a war zone. I'm going to be evaluated or audited, right?
Yeah.
And no, we're hoping you're going to be great.
Always.
Yeah.
Why
So
would they
just
want a
think of
bunch
it
of
as a
suckos to
performance.
come into the
Right.
audition? They don't want that.
No, I want to have hard decisions in casting. I don't want to be, halfway through the first night saying, "Oh no, I don't
I
have
hope
this person.
somebody good walks
I don't have
in,
this
yeah.
person. I'm going to cast the show."
Well, and really for auditions too, can you remind us of the audition dates real quick as
Absolutely, yeah. Auditions are on Monday, the 12th of February, and Tuesday, the 13th of February. We have audition slots at 6 o'clock or 7:30. If you're interested in auditioning, all you got to do is call 567-661-7081.
Oh, geez. What's the date again?
It's on the 12th and the 13th of February.
12th and 13th of February.
Hey, if you call that number, I'm the voice you're going to hear. This you hear right now, I'm the guy who's going to answer the phone.
Okay,
and
so
I
if
will
we don't
schedule
hear this,
your audition.
I'll hang up and call the correct number.
Yeah.
Like, that's not Jeremy. I'm hanging out. That sounds like Matthew.
And then the show is
It will be the 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st of April.
well? Yeah.
18, 19, 20. So 4 days. Got 4 days to see
Yeah.
the show, too.
That's right.
Somebody going to come see the show. Well, I mean, I think I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And especially going back to auditions, we want
Yeah.
people to come in and just sing a song that shows off their voice.
Awesome.
Again, this is not your Wicked or Heathers or Legally Blonde. It is a show that amplifies the voice that people already have.
Awesome.
It doesn't try to make them fit into a box.
And come in with your best song.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, sing who you want to be. You know, don't try and come in and be a character that's in the show.
If your best song is a rock and roll song, come in and do it.
Sing it, man. Be that rock and roll person, and make it really, really, really hard for Matthew to not cast you. Right? That's what I was thinking.
Natasha, Pierre,
Boris,
and the Comet of 1812. Written by Tchaikovsky.
Yep. That's it.
It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that. Yeah.
It's a lot of that with Catherine the Great. You forgot Catherine the Great.
There is no Catherine the Great in the show. Do not audition for the show if you want to be Catherine the Great. We'll put you in the background as Catherine the Great.
Okay.
But there is no. Just to clarify.
All right. Anything else? I don't want to cut you off or leave you going. If you guys want to talk for another hour, we're game.
This show is going to be a celebration of theater. It's going to be a Russian circus where we want people to bring talents that they have, whether that's drawings, juggling, tap dance, whatever. If you have a special skill, we want you in this show because we want this show to be a big, giant Russian circus.
I love it. You wrestle bears, get your butt here.
Exactly.
They want you. If you're a bear wrestling Russian person.
Chariot racing, we'll take it. Yeah.
Chariot racing?
Chariot racing, yeah. Well, we could use some.
We could. Yeah. Only if you're the opposer.
That's not
that
Russian. That's
great.
totally Roman, though.
It's a skill.
Throw it in there. Why not?
I mean, I can't do it, so.
No.
True. Not much demand for chariot racing these days. All right, man. Thanks for coming on. I loved having you on again, Matthew.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to
Jeremy.
meet you. Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
man. Bye.